Very good. Welcome to our streaming session of the latest armor of savedroid. It has been quite a while since the last one. Our ICO finished on March 9th, as all of you know. So happy to be back again and to share the latest news about the process of the minting and also when the trading will start. I think these are the two most critical questions at the moment, so I'm happy to answer those, obviously. And then also, of course, your questions from the community. That's what the Ask Me Anything session is for, so please feel free to post your questions just below the video. I will then go through one by one and try to provide as much info and insights as possible. So if your question should not get answered straight away, please be a bit patient. If we receive more questions, then it may take some time for me to go through all of them, but happy to pick them up, and I will take the time until hopefully everybody received their answers. So please feel free to jump in, and it's cool to be back again here with the community and to share the latest updates. Let me start with the top two questions which you are currently facing in all the community channels. First of all, being how is the status of KYC and minting? So basically the distribution of the token, because we have a few people who have still not received their savedroid tokens, and basically I want to give you the full insights what the status is. So currently we are working in batches towards KYC and towards the minting of the token. Now the question which came up, why is it taking a bit longer than expected originally? The reason for that being is twofold. On the one hand side, indeed the fact that we accepted so many different cryptocurrencies and also fiat increased the complexity of the process quite a lot. So we need to have controls in to provide to basically make sure that there is no scam, that there is no double minting, that everybody only gets the tokens if the payment is complete, if the KYC is done, and that then mapped to every single payment method. So this is obviously taking a bit of time since the complexity of accepting so many different currencies is quite high. This is clearly one of the reasons. The other one is, and this I also going to state very openly, that with the KYC provider, which we have chosen for our ICO, we didn't have the best experience. So there was a lot of mistakes in the KYC. So we needed to invest a lot of manual work into this. We needed to review a high number of KYC cases. And that obviously also takes time, right? Our team needed to have extra resources in order to deal with this issue. We are still in negotiations with our service provider how to get this fixed. Unfortunately, this is not helping the guys now waiting patiently for their tokens. I'm sorry, I need to apologize for this, that it's taking longer than expected. But two main reasons being, firstly, higher complexity given all the different currencies which we have accepted. So it's much easier if one just accepts Ethereum, for example. And secondly, really the fuck up which happened there with the KYC provider. So this one cost us a lot of time because we needed to invest significant additional resources in order to manually review many and most of the cases again. And that just took us time. So now our plan is to have the KYC and the minting finished by end of this month. End of April, this is the timeline we can now really credibly work towards, and I think this is a realistic time planning. So I do understand that some people are getting frustrated because it's longer than expected, also longer than we expected in the first place. But now we are really investing as much resources as we can to make that happen and to close this topic of the token distribution until end of this month. And then immediately thereafter, the trading will start. So planning for trading start is end of April, beginning of May. This is the most realistic timeline as of the moment. And basically also, and we also have received this feedback, by the way, from the community. There's one positive point to it, right? If you have watched closely the crypto price developments over the last month, then basically the market has seen a significant downturn. And I think the good thing about now being a bit later is that hopefully we are seeing currently the first signs of market recovery. And we do hope that by coincidence, the delay which we experienced in the token distribution and a bit also in the trading start, that this will actually be on the positive side, that we can have the trading start in a much more positive environment of the crypto markets, which we hopefully will enter now in the next weeks, so that the prices are moving up again. And I think this will then be beneficial for the whole community. Hopefully this has a positive aspect as well. And we do see that parts of the community also value that we did not have the time pressure in order to get our token listed in a very challenging, in a very downturn market situation. I think this is to have as a fair point on the positive side as well. This is basically the update about the KYC status, about the minting, about the trading start. Also regarding the trading, we had the luck that a smaller decentralized exchange named Tidex now also listed our token. So it's going to be 5 exchanges when the trading will start. Tidex announced the listing of the savedroid token earlier this week. Basically, it's a decentralized exchange for all of them who don't know it. If you look to the coinmarketcap.com/exchanges website, you will see that from the volume ranking, it's somewhat in the 50th places, roughly around this area. And then, as I said, what we are now working towards is that we want to align the different exchanges which we are having. So all the 5, still we have not yet the possibility to announce the name of the top 5 exchange. We have HitBTC, we have IDEX, we have Bancor, and now Tidex. And basically we're trying to align those 5 to have the trading start at the very same day. So this was also an explicit wish of the community to not only start the trading on one single exchange like HitBTC, because there was some negative community feedback. We picked up on this one, and now the goal is to really have multiple exchanges listing our token at the same day, so that everybody can have the degrees of freedom to choose his preferred platform in order to do the trading, to buy and sell the savedroid token. This is basically what we are working on. This is going in parallel to the minting, to the KYC process as of now. And then basically the timeline, as I told you, for the trading start should be end of April, beginning of May, when we then hopefully can also launch the trading of our token in a much more stable crypto market environment. This is what we are currently hoping for. This more or less for the update on the key topics, on the 2 most relevant questions out of our community channels, so Telegram, Facebook, Twitter. That's what I wanted to share with you guys up front. And now happy to take the community questions. I will just have a look here into the questions which have been posted already below our live streaming. Exactly, then there is one question from Mark here, as I see. You bought 10,000 savedroid token. When I get these in my Ether wallet is the question. So the key question here is, where, Mark, are you currently standing in the KYC and minting process? Did you, in your user profile, if you log in on ICO.savedroid.com, have you completed your KYC? Does the KYC status show successful completed? Did you already set your minting mode? So basically, did you decide that either only 100 savedroid tokens should be test minted before and then the rest, or all the tokens should be minted at once? Or thirdly, did you decide to keep the tokens at the savedroid wallet in the first place? So this is the question where you are standing there. If you have completed the KYC, if you have set the minting mode to mint all tokens, then you should be already in the queue for the next minting processes, which will take place now on the next day. So then it should only be a question of a couple of days until you receive your token. If the issue should still be on the KYC, then it may be about resubmitting your KYC in order to clear the status first. If you have already cleared the KYC but not yet set the minting mode, then this is where you need to jump into the process. So really, depending on where you currently are, then you need to see what is the next step. Is there a step required from your side? If not, then if everything is already set, it should just be a few days, and then you should also receive your tokens mark. Let me see here. Yeah, one question here from Robert, which I see is, how do you think will the initial price on the market be for the savedroid token, right? I mean, on this one, it's hard to comment for us. As you guys probably know, in the market at the moment is driven by a lot of speculation, so it's really hard to tell. We ourselves cannot comment on speculations around our token. I think this would be very difficult to do. Also, we ourselves don't actively trade our token, so that would mean that at the end we are also price takers for our token. I think the closest model which you can have a look at is basically the Excel model, which we have also for download on our website. On the other hand side, the short-term market reaction, my personal belief is, will also strongly depend on the overall market situation. So therefore, I think it's really a good point to see that, and hopefully we can only have our fingers crossed for this, that hopefully once the savedroid token will hit the exchange, we are in a stable market position, optimally in a market position where the crypto market is moving up. And I think this will help for the initial price development. And I think this is also what we've seen with many other tokens at the initial days, that basically there is a strong dependency on the overall market situation. So this is basically what one needs to take care of. And then I think we cannot comment, unfortunately, too much on the short-term price development. One other question here is basically also in regard to the trading, what will determine the initial price? Obviously the price, not only the initial, but also the following price will be determined by, of course, firstly the number of people selling the token, so the supply side and the demand side, number of people buying, and as I already said, the overall market condition. If you ask me, I think the overall market condition is going to be critical for the first time. And of course, we are now, and this is the reason I've also received the question, why are we now basically increasing our presence in the community? Why are we visiting many community events, presenting there, introducing savedroid? I think this is a very interesting and very important way also to increase the audience for the savedroid token, right? Savedroid has done a good ICO. We have a community which is already sizable, but of course, everybody who participates in the ICO already has the savedroid token. So our challenge now is to get more people to know about the savedroid token, to do active investor marketing also in the aftermath of the ICO, to create a demand side for the token. And the more successful we are with this one, the more outgoing we are presenting the savedroid token, the savedroid company, our mission, the better the chances will be that more people who have missed out on the ICO will then purchase tokens once they are listed on the exchange, right? And this will help obviously for the demand side for the token and should help also to increase the price of the token. And this will be an important factor as well. I think this is important what everybody needs to keep in mind. So therefore also what we would be kindly asking our community for is keep spreading the word. So even so that the ICO, the crowd sale, is now finished, that does not mean that we need to stop marketing for our token. I mean, now is the phase when it's really about involving more people who could potentially be interested in our value proposition, who could potentially be interested in our token. We should basically highlight to them that savedroid is there, that we are going to build an application which will help to have very easy access point to the crypto world for all the non-users as of today. This is a huge market, and get more people interested in our token. And the more we as a community are able to spread the word, the better it will be for the future development of the savedroid token, obviously, because we are not only adding users to our application, but we are also adding demand for the savedroid token. I think this is a very important thing to understand, that now also and in the future again, the work of the community will be key to make the savedroid token a successful token on the market, right? And this is why we are also doing now more investor marketing in this direction. One question here is basically around from Christian and I think in the same direction also from Ahmed. What is the future plan? Is it limited to Germany? How do we want to expand? How does the roadmap look like? Here we are of course sticking to what we have put in the white paper, to what we have on the website, right? And if we see it there, basically the plan is to have the beta ready by mid of this year. This is what we are already working on. We are doing the UX concept. We have started the coding. We are already on the alpha. We're talking to B2B partners in order to set this up. And the plan is mid of this year to launch the beta. And then by this already be available internationally. The beta is going to be in English language. So everybody can participate from the savedroid ICO participants in the first place. This is basically the initial right which has been purchased with the token also, and then secondly we will open it to also the token holders who buy the token via the exchange, and then we will open it to the public, and this will then happen thereafter, and we will start again with the beta with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then more coins, more tokens will follow, and so this is basically the initial roadmap milestone, not changed from what we've communicated in the ICO, and then it's about, of course, increasing this product in terms of features, adding new features, also localizing it to different markets. There will then, of course, be a German version available for the German market. But the idea, since we start with the English version, is that we have the internationalization from the start of the beta already in place. And then thereafter do the localized versions like the German version, like for bigger markets, which are key priority for us, right? And there especially we are looking towards Asia. We are also looking towards Eastern Europe, towards Russia. These will be markets which may have a higher priority on our roadmap. This is basically how it's going to look like from starting the beta, then expanding the features of the application by adding more currencies, by adding tokens, by adding portfolios of tokens and currencies, and then also geographical localization from the English language version only into nationalized versions with local language settings, so to have it much more easy for the local people to use the savedroid application. And I think this roadmap is unchanged, as I said, from what we've communicated also in the ICO. For everybody who doesn't know the roadmap very detailed, please do have a look on our ICO website. It's ico.savedroid.com, and then you have the button roadmap, and there you will have on the top of the page the aggregated roadmap on a yearly basis, and if you scroll down, it's actually broken down to a quarterly basis, so it's very detailed, and you can see how the plans are. We did not change this since the end of the ICO. And I just need to see here for more comments, because at the moment I cannot unfortunately read the further questions in my screen here. So hopefully I can try to figure it out how I can see more questions. Just bear with me for a moment. So this looks good now. Now I have all the questions open. Good. And Now I'm back in the game. So, yeah, one question here we had from Andreas. It was written in German here. He's asking, is there any alternative to using Telegram as a community, right? And Andreas, first of all, thanks a lot for the question. We do see that, of course, Telegram has its challenges. I think in the crypto world, and we just adopted to this one, it still is one of the best solutions, right? We internally discussed, and we also discussed with the community, if Slack could be an alternative. On the other hand side, on Slack, there were some really critical security issues in the past, so we decided not for using Slack. So at this point in time, and I think this will also hold true now for the nearer future at least, we will stick to Telegram. On this one, we have now collected the experiences. The good thing is that by all the bots which we have developed, we have good techniques in order to keep the community clean. I mean, clean from spam, clean from scam, which both is equally important. This is much more challenging if you now switch the community. On the other hand side, we have more than 50,000 members already using this platform, so the migration would be extremely painful. So I hope that, even so that the tool is not perfect, but by the way, I personally think there is no perfect tool in the market at the moment. I hope you can understand that we are sticking to this tool also in the future. Unfortunately, we will not change this. Sorry if you personally don't like it, but I think if you see the big picture, the pros and cons, and also compare it to other tools, that this is at the moment what makes most sense, and also practically is very viable for us as the company. So let me see here how the other questions are going. We had one question here. Sasha is asking where the token will be traded. So the token, and you can also see on our website, we have 5 exchanges confirmed. One of the 5 is going to be one of the top 5 exchanges as per trading volume. The name unfortunately cannot be announced yet due to a confidentiality agreement with the exchange. Then we have HitBTC. We have 2 decentralized exchanges. The first one being IDEX, the second one being TIDEX, and last but not least, we have Bancor, which is a liquidity network, but there also trading can happen. So these are the places. Here the question from the question from Devis, basically, does the Asian market know about savedroid? If not, any Asian expansion for savedroid? Yes, the Asian market already knows about savedroid. So what I can say is that besides Germany, besides Europe, the most important region for our ICO, also in terms of backers, has been Asia. So especially if you look to countries like South Korea, to all the Southeast Asian markets, these have been very key for our ICO. We have many community followers, we have many contributors to the ICO. So I think this will help. Also to then launch the product there, to have the local support, to spread the word. So yes, this is a given. We have also focused our marketing initiatives during the ICO on the region because we see big potential in Asia, and therefore basically yes, a clear yes to the question if it's already known there. Yeah, thanks, Thomas. No, unfortunately, I have not been at Malta talking to B2B partners. The B2B partners we're talking to are mostly in continental Europe. We are currently not looking too much at the offshore locations. Would have been a nice travel opportunity, but that's not what it's currently about. So the B2B partners, maybe to shed some light on this one, are basically in the area that can help us with the aggregation, the netting of the user savings transactions, and then obviously the conversion back and forth into crypto and fiat. And I think there, if you look to the market, there are some very promising players in continental Europe, and we are currently having many discussions in this direction, and we do hope that over the next month we will also be able to announce the partner names. We are now already in advanced talks with some of these guys, so I think this is going well. Unfortunately, no sunny locations to visit at the moment. The good point is, and I think if I look to your name, it looks like you're also from Germany. The last days indeed have been quite sunny, luckily here. So finally, spring is arriving in Germany, which is a good thing. So the whole team is happy about this one. So are we, Vinod is asking, are we in discussions with other bigger exchanges? Yes, we definitely are, right? The fact that as of today, we have 5 exchanges confirmed the trading of the savedroid token, of course, does not stop us from talking to more exchanges, right? And I think this is the promise which I already gave in the ICO, that our goal is to have more exchanges, bigger exchanges. We want to create a very easy and very liquid trading environment for our token. So the discussions are ongoing. One thing, and this has not changed, and I also told that and shared that with the community during our ICO, is that the market for the exchanges is quite challenging at the moment. So many exchanges have now raised their prices to hilarious levels. Many of the bigger exchanges asking for hilarious amounts to get your token listed. To give you my number of the last month, what I've heard in the market was asking for like 2 million US in order to get a listing at one exchange. So very openly, I think that does not make any sense. That does not make any sense for the buyers of the token. That does not make sense for us as the issuers. The only one who profits here is the exchange. And I think it's very healthy not to participate in this price race to the moon for a listing spot. I think here the market has now come to a crazy situation where some of the exchanges are reacting in a way that they are just skyrocketing their pricing quotes for the tokens to get a listing. Of course, the argument is saying by increasing the pricing, we will get a higher quality of the tokens being listed. I would actually argue this is not the case, because if you have a higher quality of a token, I think the probability that you would participate in such a price race is rather on the lower side, because then if you have a high quality token, at the end exchanges will accept it. It may take a bit longer though, but still the high quality token will make its way. I think if you are rather on the scammy side, then you may be willing, in order to pay a high price for a listing, to pay an outrageously high price for the listing, because this will help you to prolong your fake story a bit. So therefore, I'm a bit skeptical, honestly, on this market development. What we see currently from the exchanges, I do think that maybe in 2 to 3 months from now, the market may have already changed. We may see some more realistic prices. We also may see the combination of more realistic prices with some real quality measures in order to determine if the token does add some real value to the users of the exchanges. But at the moment, I think what we see is just profit maximization by the exchanges. And honestly, we as savedroid do not want to participate in this crazy market situation. I do believe that it's best for you as token holders and us as token creators to just be patient at this point in time, wait, and then I think the market environment will change again, and then we will add even more exchanges. So it's just a matter of time. It's not a question if it will happen, it will happen, but I think it is going to take a bit longer, and I think it's in best interest for everyone in the savedroid ecosystem. So this is basically the background about the exchanges, what I can share. Then when Lambo Amir is asking, Lambo actually already happened. If you have seen the picture from us participating in the crypto conference in Berlin last week, we did a Lambo race right at our booth. no real Lambo thought it was a bobby car. So many people were participating. It was great fun. But when the real Lambo will happen, I think, Amir, this is a question you need to answer. And hopefully for you, at any point, you wish for it. But we ourselves, for the moment being, stick to the bobby car Lambo. And this can also be a lot of fun. Then yeah, Marcus here is saying exchange after minting, so please don't ask this question again. I can't hear it anymore. Sure, fully agree with that. On the other hand side, I think many people are, of course, being concerned about this. I'm going to be very open. I can understand this. The market of the ICOs is still full of scam. You see ICOs just disappear after the crowd sale. So I think it's a relevant question. I do appreciate it that the community is bringing it up again. Of course, it's repeated, but on the other hand side, I can understand that this is a very urgent topic where we also now need to deliver, and we will deliver. So as I already said, for the late joiners, maybe just a second time, the KYC, the minting should be completed by end of this month, and then the trading start should be end of this month, beginning of May. Since it's such an important thing, I don't have any issue with re-emphasizing it. I think it's important that everybody gets that and everybody has the same information. I think this is just fair in a situation we are currently in. Do you have any application, Saleh is asking, do you have any application for SVD owners in Europe? I think what you're referring to probably is, do we have an application in terms of a mobile app users can already use by now? And the answer for this one is our current application is limited to Germany, right? So if you're not inside of Germany, if you don't have a German bank account, you still will be able in some of the European app stores and the Play Store to download the application. However, you cannot really use it, because in order to use it, you will need a German bank account to be connected to the app. Only then you can use the service. So the quick answer is, at this point in time, only in Germany. But the good news is, once the beta will start mid of this year, it will be available not only across Europe, but also worldwide in English language, but limited to the token buyers in the ICO. This is the exclusive privilege which is there for the early adopters. And the deadline for this one is mid of this year. So Klaus is asking here, will the beta be a fork of the savedroid app or another app? So maybe for all of those, and let me explain that transparently so that hopefully everybody can understand, also the people not knowing our existing app, which we have live in Germany. Let me just briefly explain how the German one works as of today. The German app works like you download it, you connect it to your checking account, so to your current account, which you already have with your house bank. Then you set your savings goal, say the next summer vacation you want to save up for. You set the savings rules, say for every tweet of Donald Trump you want to save 50 cents. And then basically our app will automate the savings process. Whenever Donald Trump does a tweet, the money is going to be auto deducted via direct debit from your checking account, which is connected to the application, is going to be put on a separate savings account at our partner bank, which is Wirecard Bank. It's fully deposit insured, and that's the end-to-end process as it is of today and how it works in Germany. Now, the new savedroid application, the savedroid crypto savings application, will at the international level be a bit different from that, right? So you don't connect your checking account, but you do connect your credit card. This is the first key difference. So where does the money come from you're actually saving is different. It's not from your checking account, but it's being from your credit card, which the money is then be withdrawn from. Then secondly, the money in the crypto version will then be auto converted into, for the beta, Bitcoin or Ethereum as per your choice. And this is going to be stored then on the savedroid wallet. So the savings account, which you're having today for fiat money, is going to be replaced by the savedroid wallet where the savings are going to be stored, right? And that is basically the key difference between the two apps. What will be the same, and therefore having the equation of a fork thing only partially works. The one thing so both apps do have in common is that it will be micro savings, so really small amounts of money, that we will stick to our if this then that savings rules, so you can still save in crypto whenever Donald Trump tweets, then the 30 cent will be deducted, will be auto converted into crypto, and you will also have, however not in the beta but then in the next feature extensions, you will also have a prepaid credit card inside your savedroid crypto savings application, so that the crypto can be made spendable again. And this we also do have in our fiat savings application, so that you can have your savings which accrue on the savings account be spent in any online shop of your choice. And I think these are the parallels which both apps have together. So it's about micro savings, it's about if this then that, it's about having the easy opportunity to make the funds which have been saved spendable using a prepaid credit card. On the other hand side, what is different, the German version in fiat works with the checking account, the international version with crypto is working with the credit card, and the savings account from the fiat version in Germany, which is hosted by Wirecard Bank, is going to be replaced by a wallet. And these are the things which the two apps will have in common, and the two things which the apps will be different about. I hope that this explains it very transparently also to those who don't know the savedroid application as of today, how it's available in Germany to be used. Then the question from Christoph here is, how do you want to create demand of the token in Asian countries in the short term? So here, Christoph, what's important to understand, and I already crossed that a bit, that we had a significant contribution from Asian countries. If you look to South Korea, if you look to the Southeast Asian countries, like Indonesia, like Malaysia, like Thailand, the Philippines, and then also in Japan. And we do have local communities in South Korea. It's on Kakao Talk, by the way. We also do have a Japanese version of our Facebook page. So we have basically set up at least smaller local communities already, where we do have significant contributions in our ICO, but also very active community who are now spreading the word. So the one part of the demand will clearly come from within the community by spreading the word from the users which we have already convinced in these markets. And the other point will be that now in the aftermath of our ICO, and that's what now started, of course, in Germany and continental Europe, by being present on roadshows, transporting the savedroid idea to conferences, to local communities, that we will expand that also to the Asian region. The idea is to have content marketing in the regions. If you look to our blog, we will have, of course, in the future, regular blog posts. We will have the community management, which will be done on Telegram. And this part will be expanded even more in the future also to the Asian countries. So the whole idea around this is to create also blogs in Korean language, to create blogs in Japanese, so to break down the language barriers which are currently there, and by proactively informing these markets and those market participants that the savedroid token will be interesting for them in order to have a good demand side for the token on the exchanges in the Asian countries. And that's what, of course, requires some efforts from us. We will work on this. We see that as proactive community and investor relations management, and this, of course, is one thing in which we are also investing resources besides building the product, of course. I hope, Christoph, that this answers your question. Andreas is here then commending the white paper is not sufficient. I've translated this now from German, not exactly know what you mean, Andreas. Maybe you can share a bit more insight on what you're criticizing here, on where you think we should add more information. I think, again, here, if you compare our white paper with other white papers out in the market, our white paper is already very detailed. We are sharing a lot of details about our business model, about the processes, about our roadmap, which has been broken down on a quarterly level. So I think this is already quite a lot of information as compared to other projects which are being much more intransparent. Andreas, maybe you can just share with us what you are specifically interested in, and then I'm happy also, of course, to answer your questions, but this one is a bit too general that I can pick it up, so therefore please do clarify. Then let me see, I need to scroll a bit. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, I think the bigger exchange working exchanges must savedroid. On the exchange topic we have already discussed. Let me just, while I scan here for more info, let me just repeat that for all the late joiners. So basically the time plan is to have the KYC and the minting being finished by end of April, and then the trading start to happen end of April, beginning of May. 5 exchanges so far, and you can read their names on our website, committed and confirmed, and we are in talks with other exchanges as well. Here, as I said, the market conditions currently being a bit challenging because exchanges are raising their prices like hell. We are not participating in this crazy race, so therefore I think for even more exchanges this will probably take a bit time, but of course given the fact that we have 5, we will not stop there, we will continue. We have one question here from Eric regarding will the savedroid app be available in Mexico and when? So the beta version, as I already told, will be available in English language and it will be internationally available. So then you should also be able to participate from Mexico once the beta starts. The time plan for the beta is mid of this year. This is what we are currently planning. So therefore this would be the timeline, and I do hope, of course, that Mexico will be in. We are working on this one, then again, questions about the exchange. We had that. Yeah, thanks, Divis. The flag behind me, I saw. It just came down from the one side. Thanks a lot for noticing. I've also seen it. We will fix it later on. Let's now focus here on the questions. Then Ahmed is asking here, when will the savedroid wallet launch? Is there a plan to make own blockchain in future? And here, basically, Ahmed, we want, as you know, to simplify the offering for cryptos as much as we can in order to bring it to the average mass market users, right? And therefore, the beta, and we have told that before, the beta is actually going to be a closed shop wallet in the first place. What does that mean? Well, it's a closed wallet in the sense that you will not be able to transfer your existing crypto into the savedroid wallet, and you will also not be able to transfer the wallet, to transfer the crypto which is inside the savedroid wallet to another wallet of yours, right? So how the system is going to work in the first place will be that you're basically putting fiat in, the fiat will be converted to crypto, the crypto will be securely stored on the savedroid wallet, and then the crypto can be made spendable using the savedroid virtual credit card prepaid, and then the crypto is going to be transferred and converted back into fiat, and that's basically it. It's as simple like this. And we do believe that we need this simplification in order to make it easily understandable and easily accessible for users who have not yet had experiences with cryptocurrencies. Then thereafter, so basically talking directionally towards beginning of next year, of course, the wallet will also be opened in the sense that you will be able to transfer cryptocurrencies to the wallet, and you will be able to transfer your cryptocurrency from the savedroid wallet to another wallet of yours. But this feature will only come after the beta, once we have publicly launched the application, so directionally towards next year only. This is important to understand. So the savedroid product shall really be a product for first-time crypto users, kept intentionally very simple so that there is no room for a mistake. And let me give you an example which really happened, and why this makes a lot of sense. We did have, even so we had an explanatory video on how to set the minting mode, how to set up your MyEther wallet, how to mint the tokens and how to not mint the tokens. So what happened is that a few users now entered a wallet address in our front end, which turned out to be a wallet from Coinbase. This, of course, is not how it should be. We minted the tokens, and now the issue is to claim the tokens back. Of course, the tokens are not yet lost. Obviously not. Coinbase can recover them, but this is now a lot of hassle. And I think this already shows how easy it is to do a mistake if you are not yet an experienced user of crypto, right? So you're basically having, by opening the system, increased risk, which opens the room for errors, and this is what happened. So even so, you stated that obviously, and that many times, that you should not use a exchange wallet, that you should not use, of course, the Coinbase wallet. Still people did that, and that caused a lot of trouble and a lot of issues which we are now trying to resolve, and we are now dependent on the customer service of Coinbase in order to help these users recover their coins and tokens, right? And this is basically what we want to prevent, and thereby we have come to the conclusion that it's better to start with a closed shop, even so knowing that this is a bit against the underlying logic of having a decentralized or open system for crypto, but we believe it's a relevant simplification which we require in order to make it easily accessible and easily understandable for everyone who is a first-time user. And that's why we have taken this design decision and therefore start with a closed system. I hope that this gives you a bit more insights about how we're going to start on the product as well. Question here also, are we planning to work together with YouTubers, with influencers? Definitely. We have done in the past, if you've seen, in order to have a better entry point into the community. We have done interviews with YouTubers. We have done basically reviews of our ICO with YouTubers. We have provided them with additional information. We will, of course, continue on that track. I think these can be very important multipliers, not only to interact with our community, but also to basically bring the message of the savedroid token to new token buyers, and then thereby create demand for the savedroid token for the exchange. So yes, we will definitely work together with YouTubers and other multipliers. The status of the minting currently is asked by Klaus. So his question was, which percentage of the tokens have already been minted? And I would say that currently we are roughly somewhat at somewhat between 40 to 50%. So basically every day we are minting in batches now. We do have a backlog now for the next days, but this will be cleared then. So you will see that the number of minted tokens will increase now quite quickly from day to day. And that's about the status where we currently are. Do you plan to set, Robert is asking, do you plan to set up your private wallet? Not exactly sure, Robert, what you mean by that. Maybe you can clarify a bit. I think that would be helpful. The savedroid wallet, if that's what it meant, is meant to be basically in the first place a safe storage for the crypto which has been auto-converted using our system, right? And then in the second place, as I said, it's inspired to be an open wallet. And if that is what you mean, then the answer to your question is in the beta phase, it's not going to be a private wallet in the sense that it's open and transferable for crypto being put on the wallet and being withdrawn from the wallet. But in the future, beginning from next year, the system will open, and then it could be interpreted as a private wallet and could be used as such. But I think this is only the second step for us. So Alexander is asking, are you still working to shorten the 180 days? So for everybody who is not aware what that means, so for all the guys who have purchased savedroid tokens using their credit card as means of payment, the tokens can unfortunately only be minted after a total period of 180 days. The reason for that being is that it's not about us, it's about our credit card service provider, the company who handled the credit card payments, and these guys are locking down all the credit card payments for 180 days. So that means that the money which has been paid in by credit card is not accessible for us, right? And the credit card transaction may still be cancelled. So the issue here is if we now would mint these tokens, there is a significant risk, not only for us as a company, but also for the other token buyers, that people could abuse that for a scam by basically getting their tokens, then canceling the credit card transaction, which would mean that there is a big dilution effect on all token buyers who have really paid in their money already, which came to savedroid. Then these guys would just have their token, they would withdraw their payment, so they didn't pay anything, they just got the tokens for free, and then they could dump the token, right? And this would be harmful for the total community of savedroid token holders. And that's why, for security reasons, we cannot mint these tokens before we actually receive the money on our account. And this is taking 180 days. And yes, so that now everybody can understand what the question was about. And yes, we are still working on this one. The discussions are very painful because the service provider here is just very fixed on his position. He's saying, look, this is how the rules are. We cannot change it. Still, we are not being lazy on this one, not following up. We are still in discussions, but at the moment this is really taking time. If you ask me for my open opinion, I think it will be challenging in order to lower the days at this point in time, since the discussions are now a bit stagnating for the last weeks. Let's see how it will continue. But on this one, I just want to be very open that the bottleneck here is really the service provider. If it would be about us, we would complete the transaction directly. I think that would be the best way. But for everybody who has purchased their tokens using credit card, also to be 100% fair, we did communicate that upfront, so everybody saw that before making the purchase using their credit card, that we would have this 180 days period before the minting. So I think one cannot complain that this was something which we hid it before them and now it's popping up. It has been there very transparently, and we had so many different payment options that I think that everyone had the degrees of freedom to choose. We had also different means of payment in fiat currency, so you could have paid by bank wire transfer, you could have paid by Sofortüberweisung if you are within Europe. So I think there has been freedom of choice, and if you still decided to go for credit card, you actually did that being aware of this 180 days. So I still understand, and sorry, I just see that the battery is running low. Patrick, maybe you can try to plug that in, because otherwise I think that the stream will end very soon. We may want to hurry up with this one a bit. Yeah, hopefully, if I'm gone in a minute, it's not that I don't like the conversation anymore, but that the laptop is running out of energy. So hopefully we will fix that. So I hope you can understand you're working on this one, but I cannot 100% promise to you that we can shorten the time period. At the moment, the discussion is really challenging. I'm just being very open with you. Do you plan to make a Korean website? Actually, using Google Translate, the website can already be translated into Korean. I think we have the small solution already there. But yes, this is already one of the considerations. I already told that we are working also on producing more content in native language for the Korean market. This is one thing which we are currently also having a look at, in how far we will reproduce some of the materials which are already in place currently in English language into Korean language and translate them in order to have an easier understanding for the Korean community. We have not yet come to a clear conclusion about this one, because this is also a significant load of work which will be introduced by this. So we are trying to find a good solution here, and what I can promise you is that we will increase our activity for the Korean market for sure. Not so sure if it's going to be about a genuinely autonomously translated website, or if we will stick to Google Auto Translate, but this is up for decision for the next weeks. But yes, the Korean market does have a very high priority for us. So Arif is asking, if I keep my SVD in the savedroid wallet, is there any benefit for holders, like getting gas or dividend? No, that's not the case. So this refers back to basically setting the minting mode, right? So if you log into your profile, and if you have not already done so, and click to your email address, you will see that there is one button called minting mode. And if you click on this, you have basically three choices which you can decide of. And the first one being is mint all my tokens to my existing ERC20 wallet. Then this is executed. The second one is have a test transaction of only 100 tokens to make sure that everything is set correctly. This is a service for us to all the newbies to make sure that the tokens are not disappearing somewhere, like the case I explained before with the Coinbase wallet. And the third option is keep my SVD at the savedroid wallet. And here, the service which we are offering is again to the new joiners, to the newbies who say, look, I'm not feeling so comfortable and I want to hodl my savedroid tokens any which way. So I don't want to now have all the hassle setting up my Ether wallet or another wallet and transfer my tokens. I just keep them with the savedroid wallet for the moment being. We will then auto transfer these tokens into the savedroid app. And so basically, the transfer is going to be done for you automatically. We're going to transfer these tokens inside the savedroid application once it's ready. So for you, this is basically a convenience choice which we are offering here. It's basically the upside, the benefit you're talking about, Arif, is rather on the convenience side, not so much on the financial side. So we see that many users are actually choosing this option exactly for the reason not having all the hassle transferring the tokens by themselves. So I think this is a good option for everyone who has decided, I want to hodl and I do want to have the token then auto transfer to the savedroid application once it gets available. And that's the reasoning behind, and that's also the reason why people are choosing this minting mode and deciding to keep their SVD in the savedroid wallet. I hope, Arif, that this answers your question. Then Christoph is asking, are there fees for credit card withdrawal? So basically, this now refers to once the savedroid crypto savings app will be in place, you save in crypto and then you have the virtual card in the application, which you can use at an online shop of your convenience in order to pay for the service which you want to buy. And no, there's not going to be a fee. How our fee structure will work is that there is a transaction fee for basically the switching of the currencies. There's not a fee for a withdrawal like you know it from a classical exchange, where then if you want to withdraw crypto that you need to pay some money. This is not going to be the case. For us, it's really, there's going to be a monthly subscription fee to the service, and there's going to be a exchange fee for exchanging fiat into crypto and crypto into fiat again. This is how our fee logic will work, and the rationale behind there is not going to be a withdrawal fee. We don't want to create an artificial barrier there to lock in people without a purpose. So I think this will not be the case, Christoph. Thanks, Sidra, for wishing us good luck. Christoph also asking, did you reach the hard cap? No, as you already know, the hard cap was 6 billion of tokens. We sold a good 4 billion of tokens. The final numbers of how many tokens have been sold, how many tokens will be burned at the end, because as you know, the unsold tokens will be burned and the tokens are going to be burned proportionally. So we communicated that 60% shall be the free float of the token. So the final numbers of this one will be communicated, of course, to the community, and there will also be a press release once the KYC and the minting is completed, but before the token hits the exchange. So this communication is still up to come, but what I can already tell you, it has been roughly good 4 billion of tokens which have been sold out of a maximum possible amount of 6 billion tokens being available for the crowd sale. This to the question of Christoph. Again, a question of Christoph. Christoph seems to have many questions, which is good. Will there be a coin swap in the future? Not so sure what you exactly mean by this. On this one, I think it would be good to have a bit of clarification of your question. Then happy to answer it. Jeremiah again asking, when will the minting begin? Minting already started. It will be completed until end of this month, to keep it short, not to bore the other ones too much, because we already answered that twice. And then again, Simo asking and thanking for all the efforts which are there. Then again saying, of course, now people are a bit concerned that it's taking so long. As I already said, I do understand. I think the positive side on this one is still that if you look to the last weeks, I think it has not been a good environment in order to get a token listed initially. So I do think the positive thing about the waiting which has taken place, which has been due to higher complexity, due to all the multiple currencies which we have accepted in our ICO, and also due to the fuck up which was there with our KYC provider, which required a lot of manual work from our side, which just extended then the time which we required. The positive point of this was that the market has been going down over the last weeks, and I think now hopefully we are moving into a phase where the markets are going to be much more stable, and this obviously will help also the value development of the savedroid token. So I think this also on the positive side needs to be noted. Therefore, yes, we are now speeding up as much as we can, and for all the rest, of course, we try that the savedroid token will be listed in a positive market environment as well. So let me see here. Jeremiah also asking, will bounty earnings be minted too? Yes, the bounties also gonna be minted. The minting of the bounty, however, will take place as the very last minting of the tokens. So now it's really about minting all the purchase tokens first, and once the purchase tokens have been minted, then basically the bounty tokens will be minted. The reason for this is that all of you guys know who participated in the bounty that the bounty pool needs to be determined, and we can only determine the exact amount of the bounty tokens once we have determined the final number of all the sold tokens. So this is a mathematical question at this point in time. So firstly, we need to complete the minting of the purchase tokens. Once this is done, the bounty pool will be determined. Then we can basically calculate from the stakes everybody has earned in the bounty how many tokens he will be awarded, and then the bounty tokens are going to be minted, right? And this is basically the process, just to give you full transparency. Purchase tokens first, then bounty tokens being determined, and then bounty tokens going to be minted. So this is a step-by-step process. Ben is saying, I tried to message via Facebook Messenger, but no reply. Ben, thanks for raising that. I would kindly ask you to please raise your question in the Telegram group. And on Telegram, if you don't already have joined our group, it's Telegram and then just savedroid. And there we have all our admins, all our customer service now concentrated. For us, it's really challenging to have so many different challenges. And I think in order to be focused, in order to also have the best customer service possible, we decided to basically focus on Telegram. So my question for you, Ben, would really be if you could please join the group, if you could raise your question there. I can promise you in return that you will get a qualified answer also in a short notice. So therefore, please guys, and this is a question I'm kindly asking every one of you, please do raise your customer service issues if you have questions whatsoever. If you are not now here in the AMA session, please use the Telegram. It's on Telegram, just savedroid. This will help us in order to respond in a timely manner, and it will also help you to get the answers as fast as possible and to get the highest quality answers as possible. So I think this is a win-win if everybody can kindly stick to the Telegram group. Thanks so much for this one, Ben. So Boris here is complaining and is saying, when I asked when we would go out on the exchange, I was banned from your Telegram group without any notice. I think the policy which we are having, which you're executing on Telegram, is quite straightforward, right? So, of course, the Telegram channel is meant to be a productive discussion environment. So that means that, of course, there are some house rules, which means to be fair on both sides. And typically, how we proceed, and I would strongly wonder if in this case the admins came to a different conclusion, because we discussed that on a regular basis and also we review what we are doing in the group on a regular basis. So typically how we react, if there are critical questions, of course we do take them up, right? And then we try to answer these questions. But what we also see, and I'm not now saying, Boris, that you have done that, but what we are seeing in the group is that, of course, many people being extremely impatient, raising the same question over and over again by just being not satisfied by the honest answer which they are receiving from our admins, right? And I think at this point, we then also come to the conclusion that obviously by just raising the same question like 10 times over and over and again and just not accepting the answer you're getting, that this discussion is not fruitful anymore, it's not productive anymore, right? And at this point in time, we need to take a decision, and the decision then is about what I said first. We need to keep the community clean for scam and spam, right? And other community members are then at the same time complaining that many people just spamming the channel with the same question over and over again, which has already been answered many times. And then this also gets the remaining of the group really angry, right? And I do hope that you guys understand that in such a large group, you do have strong dynamics of course, people being dissatisfied with a certain development, then complaining. We are trying our best to answer, but then still, of course, not everybody will be happy by the answer being provided by us, which is, I think, 100% understandable and 100% clear. So I think this point is well taken. But at the same time, we then, of course, must kindly ask these guys not to raise the question over and over again, because this will not change our answer, right? And I think this is then one thing we also need to kindly ask the community for. If you're just not satisfied and you're just then spamming the group, you would think the return need to respect that you will be banned at one point in time, because this is not only annoying us, but also annoying the rest of the community. And this is not the way how we want to work together, the community in the savedroid ecosystem. And I think this then is also a fair decision. And as I said, we are consistently reviewing the quality of the community work there. If this may not have been for a reason, I would need to apologize. Honestly, I cannot believe it, because typically we are taking this very serious, and we are also discussing whom to ban, whom not to ban. But as I said, the key priority of the group is to keep it clean and to keep a productive, a positive discussion environment. And therefore, from time to time, people need to be banned. I hope that everybody can understand that as well. Then Al-Madia says, great project, hodl all the way. Thanks so much for the positive feedback also. Then Norel is asking, savedroid also going to be available in the Middle East in the future? Yes, as I already said, the beta is going to be available internationally in English language. However, in the first place, you will only require your credit card in the first place, so this should be possible. Timeline for this one is mid of this year. Jeremiah is saying, believe in the future of savedroid. Thanks a lot for this one. Jeremiah, thanks for supporting the community here. Then I need to scroll a bit. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, then Paul is asking, my coins were minted to a non-compatible wallet. What can I do? Exactly, this is the point what I also mentioned earlier. We had these cases here and there. So if this should have happened to you, the key question is, what kind of wallet is it, right? Since we have minted the tokens and they have left our ecosystem, for us it's really hard to recover them without any external help. So if it's an exchange wallet, what you should do is you should write to the customer service of this exchange, and you should provide them all the technical specifications of the token. So basically the contract address, the decimals, the ticker symbol, and so on and so on. So all the information which is required in order to identify the token. So the tokens will not be lost. You can just not see it on the wallet, but your service provider, your exchange should be able to recover them. The same holds true if it's not an exchange wallet. If it's another wallet, they still should have received the token, and they somehow should be able to recover it. But again, you guys need to involve in this case the customer service of this very wallet provider, and please do provide all the technical details. And if you like, then also afterwards you can basically share the experience which you have made and the feedback which you have gotten from the third-party provider in the Telegram group. This will also help us to be better able to direct the people in the right direction if this should have happened. So therefore, this is one thing I would also ask you to kindly support us. Whatever you learn during the recovery process of your tokens from any third-party provider, whatever feedback you get, please do share that back with us in the Telegram group. This will help us to improve our customer service as well. But unfortunately, we cannot recover the token without the help of the third party. So there, it's really now, we would kindly ask you, write to them using their customer service channels. Please ask them to identify where your tokens are, and then basically they need to send the tokens from there to a compatible wallet which you should set up. And for everyone who has not done that yet, we really recommend using My Ether Wallet. We have an explanatory video, a tutorial video, a how-to video on our YouTube channel. You can see this has many thousand views already, so many people following also this advice using My Ether Wallet. I think if you want to be on the safe side, please use the explanatory video, follow the step-by-step process. It's very easy, click yourself through, and this will really ensure that this kind of mistake cannot happen in the first place. I think this is actually the best way in order to prevent it, if you not have already set your wallet in your user account. So I need to scroll a bit. Yeah, Christoph is asking here, do you know how the tax situation may evolve since spending crypto is subject to taxation, which in turn may detain people from using crypto for payments? I think this one, Christoph, very openly speaking, is up for the future, right? I mean, we have seen two things now in Germany, basically BaFin saying, so the German regulatory body saying that payments in Bitcoin are not VAT taxable. I think this is a good decision. We will still need to see how other regulators will react. And there are multiple tax issues, right? Beginning from how are payment transactions being taxed, how are gains being taxed, or how are gains even being declared. I think this is still a big black box. We will need to see how tax regulation will evolve, but also how the honesty of token and coin holders in terms of declaring their gains versus the tax authorities will evolve over time. I think this is just the beginning now. Tax authorities now trying to understand the issue and trying to really see how they can claim the taxes which have been or which need to be paid on the gains which have been made on crypto. I think it's now too early to comment how the situation will continue. My personal perception is that for sure the regulators will come up with a very clear framework with very strict rules, especially in continental Europe, as always. Tax authorities are looking to claim the taxes and to make as much revenue as they can. And I think the crypto industry will also be subject to this. Will it retain people from accepting or from adopting crypto? I personally don't think so. I think there are much more important factors for the future adoption of cryptocurrencies. Tax, I think, is only a second layer issue for that. I think in the first place, it's really about creating real life use cases for cryptocurrencies. So will any big retailers accept crypto like Amazon, for example, by introducing their own coin? Will we have a clear and safe and stable regulatory framework for companies operating in the crypto space? So basically having a safe environment for accepting crypto payments in the first place. Again, this will help. And will we have user interfaces which will enable easy adoption? I think these are the much more critical questions. Tax for me is a bit a second round effect, which will kick in only once I've adopted a cryptocurrency. And I think the tax evasion on this topic may be a bit tricky and maybe a bit challenging, but I think this is now still, say, 1 or 2 years ahead to come. I think the other issues need to be resolved first, and then the tax issue may kick in. So let me see what else question we had. Is Merkel spreading the SVD word? Unfortunately, not yet. Didn't have time and the opportunity to meet Angela. I think she's even more busy than we are, trying to get the turnaround ready for the Deutschland AG, for the Germany corporation. Let's see how that will work out. And maybe, of course, a bit of lobbying in Berlin would not hurt for the crypto community. But there are people already working on this. I think we as savedroid will focus on really developing our product, on doing marketing on our own behalf. And I think for the bigger lobbying, of course, this is an important thing to do. But we as just one startup are probably not the right body in order to drive that too proactively. I think this is really a thing which should and need to be done by a bigger umbrella organization representing the interests of the crypto industry. And there is, of course, the crypto national organization, which is taking care of that. And they are active and very active in Berlin, and they are fighting for the rights of the industry. I think these guys are very well prepared for this task. And the politics, at least, are now being more active in listening. And I think they will pick also up the ideas. So therefore, let's keep the fingers crossed there. Then, do we have a savedroid community in the USA? No, we don't, at least not a sizable one. The USA, as you know, is quite tricky in terms of regulation. So we have excluded US investors from the savedroid ICO. Their only option is to join in later once the savedroid token will hit the exchanges. Reason for that being very strict SEC regulation. We don't want to mess with the SEC. So therefore, only accredited investors from the states have been accepted in the savedroid ICO, so they needed to provide the formal accreditation that they are professional investors, and only those who could do this have been accepted to participate in the ICO. That's from a regulatory side very clearly cut, so therefore not yet an existing broader community. This is one thing which we need to build up once the token hits the exchange, and I think this is the good news, that the American market then is basically a market which is only relevant in the secondary trading phase of the token. So I think that can also create demand for the savedroid token, because the market yet is quite untouched. Yes, and then there's one question. I would like to know if you have already found a solution for people who purchase tokens through a referral link but have been on the website before, resulting in the fact that the guy who referred didn't get 5% bonus. I do understand that you implemented this function to ensure nobody is referring him or herself, but I guess it should be possible to check the KYC to see if somebody cheated or not. Won't be a problem if this information would have been clear written under the referral section. Maybe there is a possibility to fix the situation now. Thanks for your effort. So to this one, right? So we did have indeed quite some claims which were about the question, do we provide the referral bounty for users who have been on the website before? And the clear answer to this is no, and we have not changed our answer to this. So basically meaning, if somebody has known about savedroid before and has clicked to one of our ads, which we paid from our marketing budget, obviously, we cannot award a referral bounty to someone else who may have known this person and then sent him the referral link. So here there's the clear logic. The first visit of the website, the first cookie which is there, basically decides on who takes the lead. If it's come to our own marketing, then there is no bounty. If it's from someone, a personal referral link, then there is bounty. So meaning in the situation where the referral link led to one and the same person revisiting our website, then this bounty is not counted. And I think this is a very clear answer. We have never stipulated that we would treat that differently. I think we have also communicated that very clearly. We had also, by the way, and I think this is also important because then this brings us to another level of conflict. We had some people who claimed, I have done this referral, and then another guy claimed, well, but I have referred this user, right? And I think this is what happens if you open this discussion for who was now the correct referrer, because how would you then decide in a situation actually multiple people claiming one referral, right? And I think therefore you need to have a clear cut and very straightforward logic. And the logic here really is that the first referrer wins. So whoever made the initial contact will be awarded with the bounty. And I think this has been a clear logic since the beginning. We did not change that, and we will also not change that in the future. So this is the very clear answer to this question. Tracy again asking, in which geographies will the app be available? We had that multiple times. The crypto savings will be available internationally in English language, so not only in Germany. Is there, Ben is asking, any information on the top 5 exchange, which has not been announced yet? Can we do any hints? I think the strongest hint is saying that it's a top 5 exchange by basically looking at coinmarketcap.com/exchanges. There you can see the names. It's also one which is consistently in the top 5. So therefore, I think this is the strongest hint and the strongest communication we can give at this point in time. I kindly ask you to respect that. This is really a binding agreement which we are having with the exchange. We should now not risk losing this exchange listing by communicating too much. I think at the end everybody should be happy that we have achieved that, and we will announce it before the trading starts. But let's now not risk the exchange trading by revealing too much information. I think what we could disclose, we've already disclosed, and since we have entered into this confidentiality agreement at this point in time, we unfortunately cannot disclose more. Once we will be able to communicate more, we will immediately do it. It's not a tactic to just basically prolong the time until the communication. It's really a binding agreement, and I kindly ask you guys to also respect that. Ilka was asking the same question, so already answered this already. Let me see, what else do we have here? So yeah, predictions for BTC end 2018. Unlike other ICOs, we don't do any predictions on the crypto market. By the way, for this one, I think what's important to understand also is that we are basically not here for the trading, right? The savedroid application itself and the philosophy which is behind is really about creating a long-term micro savings opportunity in terms of a savings plan. So we are not working on short-term trading. We are not interested on speculating on different coins and tokens. This is not at all our topic. I personally believe that this behavior, what we see currently in the market, people being very curious about day trading, this actually is very hindering for the mass market adoption. Actually, this is creating a very negative, a very doubtful picture of the whole crypto industry. And I see that with my own friends, right, who are not yet part of the crypto community. This is actually also a big barrier which the market needs to overcome, that people who are just seeing all the volatility, the ups and downs, looking at the day traders, basically saying, look, there are just speculators in the market. This does not look to me like being a serious thing, so actually I don't want to get involved. And this is also where savedroid is working on. Our aspiration level would be to take out volatility by creating portfolios of coins and tokens, and thereby creating stability. And I think unless we are able to create stability in the crypto market, this will be very challenging in order to get more mass market like users into the market, because these guys are looking for security and not for short-term trading upside. And therefore, no speculation from my side on any crypto values, not on Bitcoin, not on Ethereum, also on other coins or tokens. I think one should not speculate too much. Our proposition is always, we believe in the crypto opportunity. We believe that there will be a long-term increase in value, not specifically about one coin or token, but about the whole technology which is underlying and about the whole industry as an aggregate. And I think this is the much more exciting opportunity if you ask me. And if you believe in this vision, then I think hodling is a good strategy and day trading is probably not so good. Therefore, that's my personal take and the take of savedroid as well. So no predictions of any future prices. Sorry for this one. Yeah, Elif, yeah, the flag has come down a bit, so I think we should have used a bit more stable glue for the next time. We will definitely do that. Florian is asking, do the ICO investors have any benefits that normal users don't have? The benefit is basically being the first time users of the application. As I said, once we launched the beta mid of this year, the beta will be exclusively available for all the ICO participants, right? And the upside of this is twofold. Firstly, of course, you're going to be the first ones to have the advantage using our service. But secondly, and I think this is even more exciting, you guys will be proactive part of our product development. So before the beta even, we will invite many of you to be the alpha testers of the application. We would want to have your feedback, and we will count on your word and incorporate your feedback in our product development. And I think this is how savedroid also historically has gone about product development. You guys remember we are there since 2015, and how we developed our first app is that we took our early adopters, we took their feedback very seriously, and we incorporated on an ongoing level into the application. And this is again what we want to repeat here in the crypto application. So I think your privilege will be to, together with us, give us your feedback. Your feedback will be taken for real and taken serious and will be incorporated into our product. So we as a community are really building the product together. And I think that this is actually very interesting and very exciting to do, not only for us as a company, but also for you as a community, that everybody can really contribute and shape the look and feel and the functionalities of the savedroid application in the future, and thereby also contributing in the future value development of the savedroid token, because obviously the better together we build the application, the more users we will have on the platform, and the more users we will have, the luckier and the better the opportunity for a future positive price development of the savedroid token. So therefore, this is definitely one exclusive benefit for the ICO investors associated with the token. Then let me see. Thanks, Florian, for giving positive feedback here. Love your project. Keep it up. We will definitely do. We will continue working hard. So no questions asked. Then Hannes is asking here, how will the exclusive beta of the AI work for the ICO token holders? I'm not so sure what you mean in this part. Basically, if it's the question how the beta will be structured, then definitely how it will work is that basically you will have a user account in the beta application which is linked to your already existing savedroid ICO user account, right? So this is how we make sure that we can have the exclusive benefit to ICO participants only, that the accounts are linked. So basically meaning the app will be available for download, but you can just not use it if you are not inside the circle of the ICO participants. And this will be determined by our IT. So basically saying you need to be in the ICO in order to use the application. You will be able to download it, but if you are not inside the circle, you cannot use it after the download. So this is going to be how it technically will work. And then the beta in the first place is going to be very simplistic. As I told you, it's going to be auto-converting fiat into crypto. And then in the crypto space, you will have the option to decide between Bitcoin, Ethereum, or a mix of the two. So basically a portfolio, and this is where basic AI will come in, doing the portfolio selection between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then we will start on this. It will be a very simple algorithm in the first place. The algorithm will need to learn over time, and then it will be improved over time. So there's going to be very basic functionality, how you would typically start with the beta, and then we will have significant feature upgrades as we are rolling. Hope, Hannes, that this answers your question. Yeah, France is being asked, anything happening in France? Again, as I already told, we are working on an international beta, so France will for sure be in. I think also, by the way, that France is now moving in the right direction regarding regulation. I think the idea of basically having clear regulation for ICO, setting quality criteria will definitely help. I think there also France is now advancing fast. Therefore, very positive to see that happen in the French community. I hope that also this will help us as savedroid once we go there with our application. Saleh is asking how many savedroid token in the market. I quickly mentioned earlier, but maybe we have missed it, is basically we have sold roughly 4 billion of token. The exact number will be disclosed once the minting is completed, because only by then we can determine the final number of savedroid tokens, and then only we can determine the amount of tokens being burned. So therefore, once everything is completed by end of this month, we will announce the exact numbers, and then everybody has full clarity. But over the thumb, what one could say is it's a good 4 billion of tokens which have been sold in the crowd sale. I hope, Saleh, that this answers your questions also regarding the burning. Yeah, then Arif is also asking, can one from the community spread the word by basically using own marketing tools and then printing products? I think that goes back that we also saw that there was a savedroid t-shirt up for sale. I think on this one, we are of course always happy. Everybody supporting us. That's very kind. So yes, it's positive. We would ask, and I think this is also in the best interest of you, if you want to drive the initiative, also then getting our support. I think it would be very helpful if you just contact us before. If you share your ideas, we will be happy to also support you, not only support you in creating the products which you want to create, but also then helping you to spread the word, right? Because to make a simple example, if now just one would start the initiative and does want to spread the word, then it's very likely that if you want to post the information in our Telegram group and you want to share it with the community, our spam bot will just eliminate the links you are posting, and then thereby shortcutting and downsizing the opportunity of spreading the word, right? And therefore, I think if you involve us, we can work together on the solutions. We will for sure support you, because we are also interested in spreading the word. So Arif, if you have ideas on what initiatives you want to work, my question for you would be if you could kindly just contact us in Telegram, write to us, and then happily to transfer you to our marketing department, and the guys will support you in the initiative. Always happy to facilitate and to support crowd initiatives who do have cool ideas of creating merchandise, of spreading the word. So we are all up and in for this, but only please do let us know upfront, so then we can support you, and that we can also help you to be most efficient with these efforts, because otherwise I think it will be very challenging for you to really create reach. If we help you, this will be much easier. So Arif, will be very interesting to see and hear about your ideas. Please feel free to target us. Then let me see what else came in here as questions. I again need to scroll a bit. Here is one question about bigger exchanges, especially regarding Binance. As I said, whatever we can communicate about the big exchanges, we already did. I cannot now comment on individual names which are from the top 5. I think we have had that before. Again, I would kindly ask you to respect that. We will reveal as soon as possible who is the top 5 exchange in this respect. Can we see, Ben is asking, other ICOs from the savedroid team? I think on this one, we for ourselves, for the savedroid token, are now happy with what we have achieved, and now it's really about basically delivering on our roadmap and delivering on our promise which we gave to everybody, right? So we are not now planning to replicate our ICO or to do a second ICO in the near future. This is not what is planned. However, obviously, I think one topic, and this is what we are currently seeing, is many people who are trying to do ICOs are now asking us, in how far can you support us? Can you share your learnings? And I think this is one topic we are currently considering. So we don't have very clear plans on this one yet, but yes, the idea is definitely to share our learnings, share our insights also in how to basically create a trustworthy ICO with the community, helping the community to come to a higher quality level of ICOs, higher quality in the terms of how should the company be set up that carries out the ICO in order to be stable and to basically give a good fundament, fundament for token investors. Then also, how should token economics look like? How can the community management work? Topics like this, by basically ensuring that companies also following the advice can be more successful, and that of course then the token buyers will also be more satisfied by a higher quality level of the ICOs. And I think this is one thing where the ICO market is still in its early days. We will need to work on the overall quality. This is one thing savedroid is highly committed towards, and this is also one thing where we will get involved. We want to be active part of this community discussion, and we want to help other companies in order to achieve higher quality ICOs, because I believe that this will help the entire market from issuers to token buyers and holders to professionalize. And I think this is what is required for a future success of the ICO space in total. So therefore, in this respect, I can answer with yes, we are trying to support as much as we can. A question here. Here's a question about Switzerland. 1 second, I just need to briefly translate. Genau, also wird es so the question here is, so shall there be also a Swiss version? Again here, because now many individual country questions popping up, I think the maybe to try to explain it also from a different angle, which hopefully answers the questions about individual countries, is the new crypto savings version will be available in English language, right? And you can connect your credit cards. So meaning, as long as you can speak English, as long as you do have an existing credit card, and the third part, which is not so much in our influence, the third part that local regulation allows us to be active in this market, then yes, the app will be available there. However, and these are the limitations, right, which are derived from the three things which I just said. If you are not able to use an English language app, then you will need to wait a bit. We will then only create the localized language versions a bit later. Then secondly, if you don't have a credit card, you will not be able to use the savedroid application, but this is independent from the country of residence you are in. And then thirdly, if local regulation would permit the sale of cryptocurrencies or things like this, then also our beta will not be available in these markets. And this is basically how you can think of the different geographies, right? So we try to, of course, attract and address as many markets as we can, but these are a bit the limitations we need to comply with and we need to deal with. So we are trying to be available as in many countries as possible, but what we will not do, and directly to your point, there will not be basically a Swiss version in German language. being available from mid of this year, where you can do crypto savings only, right? The localized versions will take a bit longer in time, and then we are talking about 2019 for more details. You can also have a look on our more detailed roadmap on our website. Let me see, what do we have here? Yeah, then Florian is saying here, and thanks for the tip. You should think about integrating a referral program just like Binance has. This helps Binance to go very big. And yes, indeed. I mean, this is exactly the idea. It's not only Binance, by the way. I think this word of mouth marketing, referral marketing, is a very powerful tool, right? We had now in the ICO more than 35,000 backers, more than 35,000 participants. And yes, this is definitely one thing what we want to do. We want to leverage this community of token buyers. We want to leverage the community in Telegram. We want to leverage the community of people who have at least signed up at our website. So in total, it's already a quite sizable community. And the idea, of course, is to also reward the community in the future, as we have done in our ICO. In our ICO, the bounty, the referral bonus was that if you bring a new investor, you will get 5% of his investment amount in SVD. And of course, this idea will also be there in the future once our product is live. So the whole idea is saying, if you as a savedroid user will refer another savedroid user using our application, then of course you will have a financial upside, a financial incentive as well, right? And I think therefore also, if you look to our token allocation model, you will see that we do have a sizable bucket which is going to be used in the future for business development, for community build up, for bounty. And I think this is exactly the purpose of this token allocation bucket, in order to be able to offer an attractive bounty program saying, for all the ones already using savedroid, if you spread the word, if you get new users on board, you will be rewarded in savedroid token for your help of growing our user base. And I think this is exactly, as you say, Florian, what we need to do, what we must do, I must say, in order to grow the user base, to make savedroid and our token a success. So therefore, yes, definitely, this is exactly what is the core of the marketing plan, to leverage the community as much as we can and thereby achieving fast user growth. That's exactly what that we are talking about. Yeah, Arif, how can I reach the marketing manager? You are asking. Best thing would be if you basically in the Telegram group ask for basically our marketing team. You also see, if you look to our homepage, you can see the marketing team. Our CMO, our Chief Marketing Officer, is Jan. You can easily identify him also on our webpage, and there you also see contact opportunities, how you can reach out to him. So either the one way being through our marketing efforts. So then basically Hannes is asking, so you could not make it to Berlin to the crypto conference. Will we be at other conferences in the future where you could meet us? And yes, definitely we will be. So this weekend, for example, this Saturday, I'm going to be in Stuttgart at the Invest Fair. So this is in Germany, the biggest retail investment fair which is there. So rather driven by the classical industry, classical stock market investments, classical security investments. Nevertheless, they have now also picked up crypto investments, and I'm going to be there on Saturday. So if by chance you should also be there, this could be an opportunity to meet. Then other conferences coming up in Frankfurt, of course, in Berlin again, but we're also then looking at more international conferences. You can get, by the way, the full list of confirmed conferences on our website. You will see there the upcoming dates, and of course we will update that. So Hannes, the best thing you can do in order to stay tuned is have a regular look on our website. We will always list the events we're going to be present, and we will also share that on our community channels, Telegram, Facebook, Twitter. So if you follow us on these channels, you will definitely kept in the loop, and you will always be able to see where you can meet us. So this should be not an issue. Let me see what else. Then Micha asking here again, is there going to be a Q&A in German? So this, I don't know, for the guys who have been part of the community for quite a while already, I think you know that towards the end of our crowd sale in the ICO, we did a Q&A, we did an AMA in German because there was high demand from the community in order to doing this. I'm happy to do it again. I think here what I can offer and what I will offer is that basically our community managers can start a poll again in the Telegram group where everybody can vote for a preferred date. I think this makes especially then sense if we can gather enough people who would want to have a Q&A in German. Here, just being very transparent, we are always deciding at the moment in favor of English in the first place, because what we see is that we basically, if you look to the geographic distribution of all the ICO community and the ICO participants, we see that Germany, yes, is the biggest single market in our ICO. Nevertheless, in total, it's just about 1/3 roughly. So meaning 2/3 are not able to speak German. And therefore, for us, it's always very important to have the same information being easily be understandable and accessible for everybody. That's why we decided as a policy for this point in time to keep it in English, but as I said, happy to basically do German sessions in the future as well. For this one, I will ask my community management team in order to start a poll to see what is a good date where we can assemble a significant group of community members, and then sure, let's go for a session in Deutsch auch. So, yeah, Elif just asked the same, so already answered. Thanks for your interest. I'm happy to do it, as I said. So let me see, because I was not all the time able to basically have a look at all the questions. I'm not so sure. I'm just now trying to check with my community management team. Patrick, not so sure. Did we miss any significant questions at this point in time? Because my Facebook here unfortunately only shows me the most recent ones. I cannot go back until the full history. So just bear with me for a moment. So, if I see that correctly here, I think we have addressed all the questions. I've now screened that through and also just quickly checked with the community team. So it seems that we covered all of the questions. So let me just wrap the session up and for all of the late joiners, again, repeat the most critical information to make sure that everybody has the same info level, right? So firstly, the key topic of the session, as already before in the community, was when will the minting be completed? So currently, to just keep it short, is we are in the end of the stage of the KYC. And after the KYC, the minting will happen, and only after the minting is completed, then the exchange trading will start. So don't get worried. Everybody will have his tokens been minted very soon. The current time plan is that the minting and the KYC then of course also should be completed by end of April. Only thereafter the exchange trading will start. So we are looking for start of the exchange trading by end of April, beginning of May. We are now working on aligning and orchestrating all the 5 exchanges which are confirmed as of today to have a simultaneous trading start. And we have heard the voice of the community which said, please don't start the trading exclusively on HitBTC. We will not do that. We are now working on aligning all the 5 exchanges to have trading start at the very same day. I think this is in the best interest of the whole community. So therefore, somewhat between end of April, beginning of May. And the 5 exchanges are the one top 5 exchange whose name we cannot unfortunately disclose until now because we are entered into a confidentiality agreement. We have HitBTC, we have the 2 decentralized exchanges of IDEX, of TIDEX, which just recently announced the listing of the savedroid token, and we do have the Bancor network, which is a liquidity provider network where also tokens can be traded. So these are the 5 which are there, and the time plan, as I said, KYC minting being completed until end of April, then trading start end of April, beginning of May. This is the most realistic timeline now. So please don't get frustrated. Everything is in best order. We will work on it as fast as we can. Reason for that being is we had high complexity due to all the different currencies which we accepted. So this increased the workload. At the second point, we also had a major fuck up with our ID service provider for the KYC, so we needed to review most of the cases manually. This created an immense load of work, which made us take a bit longer for completing the KYC, and that's why also then the minting took a bit longer. That's the reason for that. But I think let's also have a look to the positive side, and I think many people of the community also saw the positive side. The markets have been going down over the last weeks, so I think we were quite lucky that the token was not yet listed. We do hope that we now enter into a more positive market phase where we at least are stable or markets moving up again. I think if we can come to a trading start in a positive market environment, everybody will profit from this one. So hopefully people can understand the reason why it took us a bit longer. It was not intentionally. We apologize for that. We are working now with the highest energy to make it happen as soon as we can, and then hopefully by chance, this leads us into a more positive market environment for the trading start of our token, and then hopefully everybody can take a profit from this one as well. So this one was basically my conclusion. I hope I have summed it up for everyone so that everybody is now on the same page, has a clear understanding about the timing for the token over the next weeks to come. I thank you guys a lot for spending the Thursday evening with me, having all your questions. I do hope that I covered all of them. Please do apologize if I should have missed one. If so, please do repost the question, and the community team can then pick up the question on Facebook and basically answer it there. So no worries. I tried my best, but the flow of the questions was going quite fast, and I had some difficulties here scrolling up and down my Facebook. We will improve that for the next session for sure. So thanks a lot for your time. Great to have you guys with me tonight. I'm looking forward to the next sessions already. By the way, we will do this now on a regular basis. So at least once a month, we will have a live AMA where all you guys will have the opportunity to ask your questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions. We can also do from time to time German sessions. We had questions about this one. There will be a community poll. Don't miss on this one. So we need to make sure that we have enough demand for a German AMA to happen. Then happy to do it and also to talk auf Deutsch with our followers. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. And all for the rest, thanks so much for all your efforts. Highly appreciated. Again, the very positive spirit in our community, which we are seeing. People spreading the word. And I think this is the spirit and the mindset which we need for the next weeks and for the next month up to come to be successful. I believe that, of course, we as a team, as a core team, are working hard on a daily basis in order to build the product, in order to, of course, do the marketing, do the community management, whatever is required, no questions asked. And we are doing this with 120% of our energy. But we can only be as successful as strong as our community is. And meaning of that is that basically we count of every single one in the community to spread the word for savedroid, and I think this will create a win-win situation. It's the better for the community, it's the better for the token, and so everybody will have a profit of this one. So thanks a lot for your genuine, for your enduring support of our project. Highly appreciated. I'm always happy to see people spreading the word, and we have basically grown a strong community already, and let's make this even bigger over the next weeks, over the next months to come. And I think then the trading start will even be more successful. So please stay tuned on our channels. Do join Telegram if you've not already done so. It's just savedroid on Telegram, and happy to keep in touch with you. If you should be by coincidence on an event I'm also visiting as a speaker whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. Happy to schedule a meeting around the event if I should be in the city. I'm happy to go for a coffee or a beer as you like it, to have a brainstorming session, discuss a bit about savedroid, get your opinions in. So if you have the opportunity to be at the conference, I should be also present. Please reach out before, and then happy to set up a meeting with you guys. Thanks so much for your kind support, and stay tuned, and see you soon. For hopefully now next one in the German session for the German guys, and then we will have another English session, both for sure before the trading start of the token at the exchange. So the frequency now is going to increase a bit firstly, and then at least we are going to be on a monthly rhythm thereafter. So thanks so much. Have a great evening. Thanks for bearing with me with all the technical difficulties of tonight. And now I'm going to have a beer and also fix the flag in the background that the savedroid is happy and up and running again. Thanks so much, guys. Over and out.